I want to shout out the people who don't rap in this episode here. And this is why I'm speaking like this. Because from all of these communities and cities and rough neighborhoods from east to west coast, overseas, one thing's for sure and two things for certain. We not everybody can rap. So the culture has now adopted this thing where everybody has to be a rapper. What I'm saying is you can come from those communities, all of those communities, and you can be a lawyer. Right. You can be an executive. You can be a publicist, y'all. You can be a promotions person, y'all. You can be a different type. You don't always have to be the MC or the producer. Okay, you can be the publicist. You can be the marketing team. You can be the street team, which is what I created at Nervous Records, the street team. And remember something, guys, there was no street team. I know Loud, big shout out to Loud and Maddie C and all of them. And I know their boss gets shout out before the street teams. But I created the first street team. And that's how I got fired from Nervous Records, y'all. That's how I got fired from Nervous Records for creating a street team. I took on the Mobb Deep contract for the original Sook ones, right?
Wow.
So I'm the guy who did all of these records in the streets, and my first position for $75 a week from Mike Weiss, the cheap motherfucker from Nervous Records, right? $75 a week, cheap motherfucker, right? My job was to get all of this music, package it, make phone calls each and every day to college radio. Now, how did we figure this out? How did we figure out, wait a minute, we're an underground sound. We'll never get played. Well, we eventually got played, but the chances of us getting played on a record, a radio station, which would be daytime, where we knew the money was, and we consider today crossover, you know what I'm saying? Those chances were slim. They were very slim. So what we did, slim to none, man. And basically what we did from that point on, man, we said, okay, Drew Ha, myself, we said, man, where do we send these records? Now, remember, y'all, there's no blueprint on college radio, y'all. I know everybody's thinking modern, like, all you got to do is send them to college radio. That didn't exist right there. Right. In fact, SoundScan didn't exist until 90, maybe 92 to 96, somewhere in there, 94. So that SoundScan is the tracing and tracking of the record when it is spun on the turntable in full for a certain amount of seconds and or minutes. That registers to a particular location, whether it was the Gavin, all of those things. So this is how we trace and track where our records were playing, where we wanted them to play, and how to make money, which retail stores we were supposed to go into. So we connected to these things, and a lot of people may know this because a lot of our fans are really well oiled when it comes to hip hop today. I'm just taking you back in a time machine. You know what I'm saying? When I say this here, I'm not trying to school anybody, but if you want to learn,
it's your floor. That's why I brought you on here. Continue, bro. So what was your conversation with these people at the record labels and stuff? How did you get them to basically believe in the records and stuff? Like what was it that that's a
great question. Okay, that's a great question, Akil. How do we get them to believe in and buy into the lingo and the culture? These are the questions we need to, because this is going to educate the people. If you're out there, again, I'm going to hold that question because I want the artists to not only shine, the producers to shine. I was saying I want the visionaries to come through, the marketing people. Don't feel like you have to rap, man. I ain't got a rap in me, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't. But I ain't got a rap in me, and so I wanted to make sure that we also stayed on that as well, Akil. Can you hear me?
Right. Yep, I got you.
Okay.
Yep.
I also want to make sure we express that. So now how we did it, is that was your question, right? The truth is we had to walk into these guys' office. A lot of times these guys were successful with 9 Inch Nails, other rock groups, you know what I'm saying? Alternative music. And here we come with this lingo. And a whole culture that from breakdancing to DJ skills to, to MCing to whatever it was. And we got this culture we want to introduce. How did we get it across to them? We actually didn't. The truth is, we never really did. My job Yo, I had one of the roughest jobs, and this is why nobody interviews guys like me, because I'm the guy who signed you. I went out and did old school stuff. I went out and found the Akils. I was one of the first people in New York with the power to sign people from out of New York State. I had access. I got Nelly off of his deal at a company called D3 Entertainment. Okay, the Lunatics. I used to go see the Lunatics back before all of y'all even thought about it. And had they not broken up, I would have signed the Lunatics. I signed groups like Mood, DJ High Tech, big shout out to Dante and Mood, DJ High Tech and Talib Kweli, all of those people. But my first signing was you guys. And now I'm leaving Nervous Records, and I'm learning everything. And I'm in Smith & Wesson's Bucktown video. I'm learning the streets, and I pick up these contracts, and I'm learning how to talk the language. I'm learning, like, wait a minute. My college education is now I can be from the streets. I got my dreads. I've always had locks. As soon as I walk, you see in pictures at Nervous, I got my Timbs, but I spoke Harvard. Okay, I spoke Harvard, y'all. I if you sit down with me, I spoke royalties. I spoke publishing. I spoke visionary context and content to make you understand why your song was valuable. We have to put a plan together. That was the language. So they never understood this part. They understood, can you transfer this to me, Chappy, into layman's terms? And I had to say, oh shit, how do I do that? You don't understand what this means? And I had to back up and go, wait a minute. This culture is big because I'm in it. I feel like it's my world. When I was introducing it to this new world, it was like, wait a second, I can't speak like this and get my point across. Wow. I have to learn their language in order to be effective and expressing and bringing, let's say, DJ High Tech or the group Mood, for example. Why should I say? And guys, if you don't know who the group Mood is, or you're not familiar with Jurassic 5 and people like that, or Royal Flush or Ja Rule, there was always an explanation. It was never we walked in and we just shined. That's not the truth. You had to know someone like me who was able to go, okay, y'all from South Central? All right. How am I going to express this to this multi-millionaire who just bought Cher's apartment for lunch at lunchtime? Literally. Y'all got to understand what this is about. This is not greasy mechanic work. This ain't you just take the car, you fix it. Yo, we had to explain the car. Yo, this is why the wheels run. This is who we're going to sell it to, because now I'm coming in the office and I'm asking for a deal. I better know exactly where, when, and how to sell this record. Now that's my job. So it wasn't as easy as people think. People didn't just love songs. Public Enemy, Rakim, Carrot. Yes, people just loved people like that. They could just come out. The people who some of those people didn't need marketing. It's when we heard hip hop, You know what I'm saying? So my job was, and my experience was, I did college radio. I did every position in the music industry except for on a label. So I was a retail person. I was a street person. I was a college radio person. I was a mix show person. I did publicity from the Source doing the Source magazines, putting Mike Geronimo and them in the Source and blowing up Blunt for the first time. That all came from me. There was nobody else there. But let me explain. Dealing with music at this time, we're brand new, y'all. So if you was from another state, I could hear you. I don't care where you was from. I'm here to throw away the media of New York didn't want nobody else but New York. That's a lie. I'm from New York, and my first signing was a California group. Well, they should have whooped my ass real good for that. Right?
What was the name of that group?
Jurassic 5, I think so.
Exactly.
so I came in the game. I had just left the boot camp clique, Drew Ha, learning from it, and I co-signed a West Coast group. Is there really hate in the game, y'all, or did they learn how to manufacture and market to your emotions so you get lost in your own culture, not knowing what should be next, so they can tell you? But that's besides. We'll go into that later.